Hi guys, so I've been catching on to the trend that you probably already heard of coloring for adults. So I went onto Pinterest. I had watched a couple of reviews and looked at a couple of coloring books in the stores, and if you're an art journaler like I am, the one thing that I noticed about the books that I saw, and then I heard this in reviews also on YouTube, is that the coloring pages are pretty thin, just like, kids' coloring book pages are. And I was trying to think of a way that we could do coloring with more wet media. Like, we tend to use a lot of watercolors. I knew I'd want to be able to use my water pens and my Derwent Inktense blocks are another way that I love to color things in, and of course acrylic paints. So of course I went to Pinterest, which is where I go a lot when I want to find out about something, especially in the artsy world, and I found a lot of really interesting things here. For one thing, there are tons of free printables that you can download online, and I thought I would show you a few different things that I found. Because I think if you pick up quality paper in the store, which I usually buy 65-pound cardstock when it's on sale, and I'm sure you could do this with watercolor paper too, depending on your printer. So here's one thing that I stumbled on. Here's what happens when you color instead of watch TV for a week, from Brit & Co. And I'll leave links below. And looks like here someone tested out. It says the current phenomenon gets tried and tested. So I won't walk you through the article itself, but I'm betting there are some benefits to doing coloring instead of watching TV. And I'll admit that actually my first thought was that it would be great to color in front of the TV. So I think you can definitely combine both of them, but right now I'm just flipping through some of the things that came up on Pinterest when I entered adult coloring books, and one of the first pins that came up was, I'm gonna have to go way up here. Okay, so over here, let me just shift the camera a little bit here. 10 amazing adult coloring books to buy. And these look awesome. The one that really grabbed my attention was this Splendid Cities one. I thought that looks like a really fun coloring book, and actually when I went to Amazon, you know how it'll give you a free little preview of the book. Just in the photos that it does show of the book, it looks like it's maybe not what you would typically think of for cities. Like, here's this castle scene with a cool moat around it, and this looks like a really intricate design here. So it's kind of a cross between Zentangle and, I don't know what, I guess just traditional drawing, but lots of different cool shapes, and I'm guessing that this would help you learn more how to draw as well, because your brain would get used to coloring over the edges. So then let me take you to a site where I found okay, 25 coloring pages for adults. This is from the countrychicottage.net. So if we click on here, and I had already gotten to this page, so here's what this website looks like. She does all kinds of stuff. She She talks about her cottage and her children and families. Looks like she blogs about different seasons, holiday crafts, decor, recipes. But if you link from that pen, it will take you right to the 25 free pages, and there's quite a variety here. And then it'll list it by subject, and so there are flowers, elephants, tea time, mandalas, if you can be anything, be kind, butterfly, always in my heart, Zentangle birds, and then I just happened to click on this mermaid page, and these are by Katie Harvey, and these are free mermaid pages that you can download. So you download the PDF and then you could print it out, and of course if you do this at home you'd have your choice of paper depending on what type of coloring you want to do. So she does mention here at the top of the blog, and this is the first adult coloring book that I had seen in the stores, that's Secret Garden, and that's also the book that was reviewed quite a bit by different YouTubers. And this is cool. She's put an update in here. I posted a blog here about the pens and pencils I recommend using to color your book. Take a peek, particularly if you're having trouble with ink bleeding through your pages. So she has addressed what a lot of the reviewers were saying. So one of the things was that, you know, you could lose the backside of that page and possibly even have ink bleed through to the next page. And of course, if you're an art journaler, you probably had already thought of putting wax paper or something to protect your pages between the pages. But still, it's really cool that she has some tips and tricks now for what types of pens and pencils she recommends and this and that. So anyway, I just thought I would turn you on to these free coloring pages, and I thought it would be a great way to try it out before you buy one of the books. Because like me, I actually wanted to buy Secret Garden, and before doing so I did go ahead and look it up on YouTube to see if anybody had tested it out yet. So hope this has been helpful, and I'd love to hear any of your experiences with adult coloring books. If you've been trying out this new trend, I'd love to hear about it. And as always, have a wonderful day and a crafty day, and I'll talk to you next time. Okay, bye-bye.